Thank you. First frame. Itaro Santos to break.
Well, this feels like a David versus Goliath battle, doesn't it? Joe Perry, the world number 9, very, very experienced. Itaro Santos, ranked 124 in the world, only his second season as a professional, all the way from Brazil, getting us underway. But what an opportunity for him to show us what he can do. He qualified for the tour, winning the Pan American Championship last year, so he got a 2-year card. This is the second year of that. Joe Perry, though, clearly he's going to start favourite.
Yes, and a great opening red from Joe Perry. So many times that red sticks out and the players knock it in. Cue ball just travelled a little further than he would have liked.
Joe Perry, 1.
A little early to be taking on those kind of tough greens.
So second shot of the match for Santos. He's already in trouble here. Reds have opened up. He's got to be careful.
Yes, as Jimmy was saying there in the studio, that Joe Perry's got a great style. But maybe, from his point of view, he should have just done a little better after winning that tournament in China last year. Got every shot in the book. And this is the first time that I've seen Itaro Santos play. Looks to have a good style, although he's pushed a red over that right corner pocket. A little fortunate to have finished in front of the brown. So this needs to be good cueing.
One.
Excellent pot. Another very good rest player, Joe Perry. And that cue ball just travelled a little further than he would have liked.
3.
He'd have preferred to have been on the red to the left corner. That would have led him to the black.
Yes, he felt there, I think, that it just pinged off the cushion. Of course, these tables, they all look the same, but they all play differently, and it's a question of settling into conditions here at this brand new tournament, brand new venue.
Another good rest shot, and this time
4.
he hits it perfectly.
Yes, he's cueing well so far. Joe Perry, quarter-finalist recently in Daqing at the International Championship, but since his run to the final of the World Open, which was the end of July, he's not fared too well. He lost first round Shanghai Masters, European Masters, English Open, China Championship, and Champion of Champions. So form has just dipped a little. But the good news these days, there's so many tournaments, of course, you can get right back up there again. Oh, hang on, no, he's missed the blue.
Joe Swale.
Yeah, that's a surprising
Joe Perry,
miss.
4.
Yes, that's a
One.
good pot to the middle pocket. So that surprising miss by Joe Perry has afforded Santos with a chance. Good pot.
Yeah, I think Perry was just focusing on cannoning into the reds and just slightly took his eye off the pot. But a chance, as you say, for Santos to settle into this match. Obviously doesn't have a lot of experience on these TV tables.
Six.
He is Brazilian, but he actually represented Germany for a number of years because Brazil wasn't affiliated to the International Billiards and Snooker Federation, which is the umbrella organisation for World Amateur Snooker. So he represented Germany through family and actually won the German Championship twice.
Itaro Santos. 6.
I guess that shot, though, with the rest, wasn't one he would want so early in a match when he's just trying to settle in.
No, tough shot. Just a little too hard with his position. And he potted the blue. Well, that was a clever shot there from Perry. Tried to hide the red with the pack of reds in case he missed it. And he's managed to do that. Now can Santos find a red to knock onto that red? Nothing there. Nothing straightforward anyway. So needs some thinking about this, otherwise that red will be available for Joe Perry. He looks a little heavy. Thought he may have left the cue ball by that middle pocket. But managed to cover the red. So just attempting the swerve. Cushion first. Try and knock the red in. Yep, that'll do nicely. And a little bit of side on the cue ball takes it down towards the blue. So another good chance for Joe Perry. Wasn't sure what was going to happen to the cue ball.
Well, Joe Perry, 42 years of age, so would have grown up watching the likes of Alex Higgins and Dennis Taylor, the two Northern Irish greats, and here he is now playing in a tournament, the trophy of which is named after Higgins.
Seven.
Well, didn't have anything on the cue ball. The cue ball's finished directly behind the brown. And with the red over the left corner, just needs to drop it in. Oh, well,
Joe
that's
Perry.
a
7.
surprising miss from Joe Perry. He was right behind the brown there. He'll be very disappointed with that shot.
Never seemed happy with it, did he? Got up a couple of times and in the end didn't get that close.
One.
So another chance for Itaro. A little far for the blue, but he's got the choice of yellow or green. And if he could get nicely on a red, every chance of winning the frame. Well, I'm
Itaro
surprised
Santos,
he took the
1.
blue there, because he was nicely on the green or yellow. The blue looked the harder of the three, and he was playing it with left-hand side on the cue ball to check it for the reds. So nervous start this from both players.
Yes, it's understandable, I think. Obviously, Santos on television, we're very excited to be out there. Joe Perry, on the other hand, he knows that if he wins the match, well, people kind of shrug because he should win it. If he loses, it's a massive, massive shock. And it's a short match as well. It's only first to 4, so a little bit edgy early on.
1.
Again, that was a strange shot he's played there, Perry, because the balls were set. Didn't look too difficult to get the plant. And they expected him to be nicely on the blue. And having a look at it there, he'd have to swerve it slightly to pot it. So taking the green on. And another poor miss.
Joe Perry, 1.
He was probably disappointed with the shot previous where he's not on the blue.
So in this frame, it's a blue, a brown, and now a green that Joe Perry's missed. And this can only give Santos heart.
1.
He's looking to win his first match as a professional. He played 4 last season, lost them all. He's played 5 this season, lost them all so far.
He's had some tough matches though, hasn't he?
He really has. This flat draw system means that you can play top players first round. He played first 3 matches last season: Ricky Walden, Matthew Stevens, Sean Murphy.
8.
So that's about as tough as it comes, really, when you're a new player.
Nine.
Would have liked to have been straighter on this black. They have to play a little cannon here. Makes so much difference just being nicely on the black. The cannon could have gone wrong, and looks like it has.
16.
And it was the shot previous, the red. Tried to hold for the black, could have played for the green, brown or blue. Tough shot.
Itaro Santos, 16.
And it could have been worse. Hasn't left anything easy for Joe Perry. Again, lots of pressure on this red if he takes it onto the middle. And that's a good
1.
pot. That's a cracking pot from Joe. That will give him his confidence back. And every chance of winning the frame now.
Yes, in general, he's had a really good few years. He won his first title in
6.
2015. Earlier that season, he'd been runner-up to his good friend Neil Robertson in the Wuxi Classic final, and he's had a lot of semi-finals. He's been really consistent since then. And played some really good stuff as well.
7.
Should say we are very close to the airport. If you can hear aircraft in the background, that's why. Huge venue, this Titanic Centre. Has to be to house all 8 tables, of course. But great to have snooker back in Northern Ireland. It has been a hotbed for many decades here, and I'm sure, obviously, it's only the first day, but I'm sure the crowds will pick up as the week goes on. Mark Allen and Joe Swell both playing tomorrow.
12.
think if Perry can just win this frame now, it might settle him. It has been a rather edgy start, but he's back in with a good chance.
Yes, he'd be disappointed if he didn't win the frame at this visit. But a chance to settle.
$20.
Left himself a nice angle on the pink to drop him behind the red. Sounded a little kicky, that. Hence he's not on the red as he wanted.
26.
So just the safety, 16 points the lead.
Joe Perry, 26.
And they're a little heavy with the cue ball. Long straight shot. Tough shots. Tough shots for top players. Full of confidence. And in the end didn't really get anywhere near the pot. Now does it pass the brown? Well, things just not going for Joe Perry at the moment. And another chance for Santos. Red could go anywhere after you've missed it. Decides to go over the pocket.
One.
Well, needed a good kiss, and that's not bad at all. Yellow and yellow again. Try and leave an angle to get down to the green.
Itaro Santos a long way from Recife in Brazil, which is where he's from. The weather here, I can tell you, in Belfast a little more inclement today than it would be out there. But this is a good chance now for him to steal this frame.
Five.
Just a little pacey. Wanted to be straighter on the green to the middle. Not happy with the sighting. Always difficult when the cue ball close to the object ball. And again, it sounded a little kicky.
Itaro Santos,
he might have got
5.
a kick. Just threw the green away a little bit.
Well, Joe Perry 11 points in front, so he needs green, brown and blue.
Three.
Well, for a moment I thought he was going to be snookered, but he's on the brown. Kiss could have been a lot worse.
Seven.
So it's been a strange frame, this. Joe Perry had lots of chances. Santos had the last one. Should have won the frame.
Yes,
12.
A rather untidy start. But Perry, I'm sure, relieved just to get this opening frame on the board.
18.
He's a big
on the
favourite
frame.
to
Joe
win
Perry.
the match, but nothing is certain in this sport. We know that. They both had a lot of chances in this opening frame, but it's Joe Perry who takes it. First to 4, goes through to the second round. He leads 1-0. I think for him it is one of those matches where he knows that he should win, and if he didn't it would be a big upset, so he's just got to really focus on his own game, I think, and not dwell on that too much.
Yes, good point. Fully expected to win, Joe Perry. And that cue ball just wasn't close enough to the cushion. Left a chance there for Santos. Good pot. Kiss could have been a little kinder. Another good pot. And this time plays a very good positional shot. The red just above the black.
6.
Playing the cannon to the red, just to the left of the black.
7.
And just didn't get into the cue ball enough. Caught the red too full. Needed to catch it on the left-hand side. Considering playing the
Yellow
yellow.
ball.
Well, this could be good. What a good
Santos,
shot that
7.
was. He played the snooker in behind the yellow. Terrific shot from Itaro Santos. Playing the 2-cushion escape and caught it a little thick. And that's always the danger in playing that shot. If you just catch the reds a little thick, cue ball stays down this end of the table with a half chance. So long red to the right corner as you see him miss this shot to the same pocket, and that's a good pot.
1.
Always feels good when you see the long pots going in. Not ideally on the green, but has the brown, and the red just above the black is available. Didn't get into the cue ball, so just the safety. He'll be disappointed with that
4.
shot.
Thank you. Joe Perry, 4.
And once again, he pushes the red towards that right corner. Oh, but what a kiss on the brown. A stroke of luck there for Itaro. Could have been end of frame and Perry been able to see that red. Well, he can play the cue ball up into the jaws of the yellow pocket, use the blue to cover the red over the right corner. That would be a good attacking safety. He was considering just touching this red, but he'd be in trouble next shot if he played that shot, because I'm sure Perry would play the cue ball into the jaws of the yellow pocket. He's got to play the shot. Otherwise, the second shot down the road, trouble. Yep, he had to play that shot. And looks like he's got a very good safety there. Even if Joe could see this red over the right corner, it would be a tough pot from there. Don't think he can see enough of it.
A reminder that after this match we've got Sean Murphy against Luca Brissell. That could be a real cracker. And then the man of the moment, John Higgins, who of course has won the last two tournaments, 300,000 for those two events. He plays Paul Davison. Tonight, Ronnie O'Sullivan plays David John. Jimmy White plays Gareth Allen. And if they win, of course, they play each other, do O'Sullivan and White.
What a great day of snooker. And I suppose everybody, no disrespect to the opponents, but everybody's wanting to see Jimmy and Ronnie playing.
Well, certainly in a tournament that's been named after Alex Higgins, it couldn't be better, really, could it?
But they've both got to win yet. Caught it a touch too thick. And this time, I think Itaro Santos can get through to this red. It's tight. But from here, it just looks as though he can pot it. He's right behind the shop though, so he'll know. Well, apparently not.
1. Eight.
His world ranking of 9 is the highest he's ever been, so it underlines what I said earlier about the consistency that he's found at the top level last couple of seasons. But of course, as with
9.
any top player, it's trophies he wants. And actually, when he won the Players' Championship, he didn't get one. They didn't have a trophy. He got it eventually, a few months later, but not immediately after the win. Although he did get the cheque for 100,000.
Well,
15.
the cannon there turned out very nice. And again, he's got a good chance here, Joe Perry. If he could knock a break together, that would help settle him.
16.
Well, the highest break in this match so far, just 26. Shows you how scrappy the first frame was.
$23. $24. Yeah. $31. $32. $38. $39.
Well, left an angle on the black, but could have been a little bit closer. Again, this is missable. Tried to disturb the reds.
Joe Perry, 39.
And again, he's just not there at the moment. Good kiss on the black. Showing Santos has nothing easy to go at. Could have done without that bump on the middle pocket. And could very easily have left the red on to one of the baulk corners. Got an easy safety.
Joe Perry 36 points in front in this second frame. Match yet to really come alive. The other thing, of course, is he knows that there's a few of the big hitters not here this week. which in theory increases his chances of more silverware. Mark Selby, Stuart Bingham, Neil Robertson, Judd Trump, Ali Carter, the real big names who decided to sit the week out, concentrate on the UK Championship.
Well, that's another long red missed by Joe. It's an easy red. An easy starter for Itaro. But a difficult table to win the frame at this visit. And look at Joe missing that long red again. Tempting to bring more reds into play.
1.
Well, failed to mention at his last visit that he played with his left hand and played it well, trying to screw into the reds. Just wonder if he'll play this one left-handed.
3.
He looked pretty good. Yep, left-handed again. And this isn't easy left-handed. And didn't really get anywhere near it. Needs a bit of luck.
Itaro Santos, 3.
Didn't get it.
One.
So 34 points the lead. Nice angle on the blue to come back down for the reds. He could play for that loose red, the one closest to the right corner. I'll try and split them.
Six. Seven.
Lots of right-hand side on the cue ball to try and swing it round for the pink. Just a little hard, but has a nice angle on the blue to be able to come back down for the reds. You could either take it to the baulk corner or the middle. Oh, I am surprised he's playing the pink. But that's the one that was taking him to the reds, and he couldn't have played that one any better.
So
that was
Joe
a
Perry,
great shot.
So Joe Perry
13.
leads by 46. He needs one more red to secure the frame. And again,
14.
it's not been tidy stuff, but if he knocks the pink in as well, it should be 2-0.
Yeah, he's just done enough to win, hasn't he? Made some good safety.
Yeah, but I guess that's what you've got to do. I mean, you can play great. Last week, Ding Junhui in the Champion of Champions semi-finals with John Higgins,
20.
Ding had 4 centuries and lost.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
Well,
Joe Perry,
he
20.
may come back here. It's 3 snookers. Perry sort of puffs out his cheeks as he walks back to his chair because he knows this frame not necessarily over yet.
Well, that's incredible. Even he's surprised at missing that one.
Well, ultimately, you have to play better than your opponent. And so far, Perry is, even though he won't be necessarily cock a hoop with his own performance. Highest break 39 in 2 frames, but he's going to be 2-0 up. That's the bottom line. Frame 3, a big one for Itaro Santos if he is to get involved in this match.
7. Twelve. 14. 17. 21. 26.
'Well, the frame was already over,
32,
but he'll have enjoyed
frame.
this little clearance, I think, because it's been a bit of a struggle for him to find his best form, but bottom line is he's gone 2 frames ahead in the match. Joe Perry leads 2-0, 2 more frames, and he's into the second round. As Dennis Taylor said at the start, in Brazil, the tradition of snooker is actually on smaller tables with 10 reds. So he would have learnt his trade on the smaller tables. But that's true, really, of a lot of British players. Usually they start on a 6-foot table and then head to the clubs on the 12-foot tables.
I started on a 3x2, David. Moved up to a 6x3. Then there's a 10x5, which a lot of leagues in the Blackpool, Lancashire area still play. And completely different, obviously, to playing on a big table. Good pot. Excellent pot.
1.
Just in no man's land there. Not quite on the blue, yellow or green. Probably need the rest for all 3 of them. Maybe the blue is... He might just be able to reach the blue. Oh, he needs his little extension on. But this is a tough shot when you're 2-0 down. And he's going to be on reds, so this has got to go in. And that's a good pot. But he's lost the cue ball.
6.
Had he been super confident, he would have stunned to that right cushion, come off for the red into the right corner, but put all of his concentration into the pot.
Itaro Santos, 6.
Well, cannon to the brown here would be good. It's got a natural angle to play the shot. A little bit too much left-hand side on the cue ball. Just a little bit concerned about that red on the left side cushion. Doesn't want to make contact with that. And once again, he pushes that red over the corner. Good cue ball, though, so this long pot, not easy.
One.
Made it look easy and played it well, nicely on the black.
He actually played really well in Manchester, even though he lost his first round match to Matt Selt. It was a brutal draw. He had a century in that match, Perry, but Matt Selt played some of his very best stuff to beat him 4-2.
9.
And that's what I was saying, you know, it's not always about the scoreline, it's often about how the other guy's playing, and if he doesn't perform, then you don't have to play your best. If he does, then you can play your best and still lose.
$16. $17.
Now the red directly above the black if it goes, and it does. And when he plays this one, that releases the other one next to it.
24.
And this is how a top player likes to see the reds. When you pop one,
25.
releases another one.
Well, Joe Perry's pot success after the first frame was in the
32.
70s, but it's crept up now to 88%.
33.
Left an angle on the black to
you
go
can
into the cluster.
And you can see Santos down at 65 for pot success.
Well, that's unfortunate. The split, beautiful.
40.
But he's not on anything easy. Has a red to the right corner, but he'll need the long spider. What a tough pot that would be, but I can't see he's got anything else.
Yeah.
Yep, calls for the long spider.
On the Eurosport player, it's Matthew Stevens against Xiao Yulong. That's on table 2 on the Eurosport player.
Well, this is tough. Oh, just played the safety. I thought he'd miscued there for a second, but he just played the safety. Couldn't see the path back to baulk. Yes, he was up quickly. He knew he was making contact with the red.
Yeah, he was unlucky, really, wasn't he? Went into the pack. If he'd gone on a red, this frame would surely be over by now. The question is, though, can Santos get in? And if he does, can he do any damage?
Well, lots of left-hand side on the cue ball and a nice little kiss on the yellow there. Didn't fancy the long red to the left corner. And that was an excellent safety. Could so easily have finished up behind the green. Well, he was thinking of taking the long red onto the left corner, but that's so risky the way the reds are spread. And got to be careful not to push it over the right corner if he's playing safe.
Well, clearly a crucial stage of this match. Perry leads 2-0 and by 34 in this frame, looking, I guess, for another opening to make it 3-0, in which case he'd be a very heavy favourite to win.
This again is going to be close. Well, good safety from Joe Perry. Had lots of trouble this for Santos.
Thank you.
No reds on the cushion to land up to. Maybe you could try and hit the red to the left of the pink. You could just land up to that red. But difficult to judge. Just got to get the right amount of left-hand side on the cue ball. And, well, not the red I suggested, but I think it's equally as good. Good escape.
Yes, that was loaded with danger, but a little tap on the table from Perry tells you that he's played it well. Not to say he won't be in trouble again, though.
A fraction harder. Would have been snookered. But can play the safety off the pink, off the red next to the pink. Caught it a touch thick. And then again, nothing easy for Joe Perry. May have a thin cut, the red that's closest to the right corner. Found another one. Played it with some safety in mind. He could do with a good kiss. And he got it. And some might say he deserved it from such a good pot. Well, he's got an easy snooker. Because this green, although it looks easy on television, it's not an easy pot, this, with the rest. He's looking at the snooker. The green could win him the frame. It could also lose him the frame. The snooker absolutely guaranteed that it's going to be safe. Oh, snookered. He's snookered.
Thank you. Joe Perry, 1.
Well, ideally, he'd like to finish up next to this red nearest the right corner pocket. But getting to that red is not straightforward. Got to avoid the other reds if he does play that shot. Oh, that's an excellent shot. All that left-hand side on the cue, sorry, right-hand side on the cue ball. Check the cue ball. That was a super shot he's just played there. Didn't think he had the angle to play the shot. Well played.
One.
But that was a very good pot from Joe Perry, and with the red spread nicely like this, even though the black and pink is safe, it should be enough. It should be able to do enough damage with the blue.
Yes, it seems to me his confidence in his cueing has grown as the match has gone on. He was missing all sorts frame 1, but that was nicely done.
Three.
Well, that wasn't the best positional shot he's ever played. Hampered over the reds. Yeah, it was a poor positional shot, you've got to say, from yellow to reds. He was well out with his pace on the cue ball. Still expected him to pot that.
One.
Just mindful of that pink. You see, he's not quite as close to it as he thinks he is, actually.
And the referee right behind him. Let's keep it a close eye on things there.
Ben Williams looking out for a wardrobe malfunction. Complication here, of course, black and pink tied up, so having to go down for the blue.
6.
And immediately the wrong side of the blue. So going to have to take the cue ball in and out of balk, avoid the colours. And as David said, he's got to try and concentrate on the blue for the moment. Going to be very difficult to get to a colour from here. This will be some shot with the rest. I'm not quite sure what kind of an angle he's got on this red, but if it's straight, then he has to play the screw back, and that is very difficult to get to a colour from. He may have to play for the black. Well, that's a good pot on the red.
Thank you. 12.
Could have done with a little bit more angle on the black.
Well, how do you fancy this? Already 2-0 down.
Well, not too bad this, David. It's touching a cushion, so the pot not too difficult, but getting out for the red. It hugs the cushion, look. But couldn't get nicely on the red.
$19.
Very dangerous to take the red onto the left corner. Could possibly be over the pocket if he missed it.
Itaro Santos,
No
19.
attempt at the pot. Just tried to get that cue ball in behind the yellow. Very close.
Yeah, his safety play has been pretty good overall, but ultimately it is about potting. There's the safety stats, both pretty good really, but Santos just in front, but it's been when he's got in, he's not been really keeping position, and his highest break in the match is just 19, so that kind of tells the story. Perry's is only 40.
Well, caught the red from behind, and that's a disaster for Santos.
Yeah, he nearly fluked it, but he's left a pot on for Perry, who's 19 in front. Just as we were saying how good his safety was.
One.
Well, I don't think he intended to hit the red he hit. I think he was trying to come off the cushion,
8.
disturb the two reds. But it's worked out okay.
9.
Just a fraction too hard. So just the snooker.
Joe Perry, 9.
Yes, it's all bits and pieces. You can see he wasn't impressed there not to get on the blue, but he's got a 28-point lead. Another red and a black for Perry. Snooker's required.
Well, that's just what he didn't want to do. Hit that second red. Left Perry with another easy chance.
As I say, red and black, he leads by 36 with 35 on.
1.
It's not been the fluent match that, or certainly performance that Perry would have hoped for, but this black goes in. Should be 3-0. He's not on the red, but a snooker is required.
8.
Yes, and the ball's nicely positioned for snookers.
Joe Perry, 8.
And that could easily have gone in off.
Perry 36 in front, 35 on. He has got Itaro Santos in a snooker. Oh dear.
Foul. Joe Perry,
Well,
4.
that eases a bit of the pressure on Perry, because now it's, of course, 2 snookers needed.
Yeah, still worthwhile playing on though. If you could pot a red, black, yellow, green, brown, need 1 snooker to tie on the blue. If you potted the blue, 1 snooker to win on the pink. Whether he wins or loses today, it's good to see someone from South America represented on the circuit. Of course, for many years we had a lot of North American players from Canada, including 1980 world champion Cliff Thorburn. Although in Canada, well, the top players now, the top players from 20 years ago, it's dried up a little bit in that part of the world. Well, Santos could be in trouble here. Perry with an easy snooker. Just a drop in behind the pink. Cue ball could have just drifted off before it got to the red. Caught it a little bit too thin. And could so easily have paid the price there. But this time he gets a much more difficult snooker. And not easy to hit, this one. Thinking of playing into the jaws of this pocket. No. No. Let's have a look at this one. Plenty of bottom on the cue ball to try and straighten the red up, the white up. And
Joe
that's
Perry,
4
7.
snookers.
Well, he's nodded his head to concede.
Conceded frame, Joe Perry.
So Joe Perry, highest break in the match, 40 so far, but he's done enough to get himself to within 1 of reaching the second round of this Northern Ireland Open. He leads by 3 frames to 0. Ben Williams just dispatching an uninvited guest there, or doing his best to anyway.
Thank you, frame 4. Joe Perry.
So Joe Perry looking to wrap this up. He leads 3-0. It's not been vintage Perry, but he's done enough to get himself to within 1 of victory.
So that cue ball not close enough to the cushion again. Has knocked a couple of long reds in, but wasn't anywhere near that one.
Coming up after this match, it could be a real cracker, this. Sean Murphy against the dangerous Belgian Luca Brissell.
Well, again, a surprising miss that from Joe Perry. Got a chance now for Itaro Santos. Hasn't played well today, but he's 3-0 up, so he's done what he's had to do so far. Maybe try and screw off the pack.
1.
Well, decided to play for the pink. Nothing wrong with that. If we can get onto the next red. Played for the red nearest the black. Would have liked to have been closer to it. All these are pressure shots now. If he misses one, he knows it could be his last shot. That's a good pot.
8.
Snooker is played all around the world, but the problem for
15.
Itaro Santos in a country like Brazil is they don't have the infrastructure. So therefore players from overseas invariably have to move to the UK, and of course there's a lot of cost involved in that. Not everyone can afford to do it.
16.
Famously, Neil Robertson came over from Australia, just 500 quid he borrowed from his mother. And of course it was Joe Perry who helped him settle in Cambridge.
Well, nice attacking shot there from Santos.
23.
But the cue ball close to the cushion, which makes this red to the right corner just that little bit tougher. Well, good pot at
24.
just lost the cue ball. May have expected the cannon on the red, but surely too risky to take the black on. He's looking at it, but this is too risky, surely. He's 3-0 down. And that could be his last
Itaro
shot.
Santos, 24.
That was a very risky shot to take on. If it had been 3-0 up, I could understand it. But 3-0 down. Well, that's a let-off. And Joe Perry must be really worried about his form this afternoon. Hasn't done anything really. Made a 40 break early on, but another chance for Santos. Good pot.
1.
And just lost the cue ball again. This is an extremely thin cut to the right corner. Nicely done.
8.
Well, it's shaping up to be a good chance for Santos, already 32 in front. And seeing Perry make mistakes as well will give him some hope. It's not like he's been blown away in the 3 frames by this man.
Nine.
Well, again, shorter pace, but might take the red
11.
to the green pocket, which would free the pink. Couldn't have landed much better, that, really. No, he's missed it.
Itaro Santos, 11.
Just can't afford to miss those type of pots. And another good chance for Joe Perry.
One.
Well, things were looking so promising there for Santos, but an unforced error has let Perry in.
Eight. Nine. $15. $16. $18.
May have the angle on the red to play for the blue this time round.
19.
Which would lead to the 2 reds just to the right of the pink. There is a red directly behind the pink as well, and that's the one he's played for.
21. $22.
Well, you feel he just needs to focus here. He's missed the odd one today, but this is a golden chance to win frame and match.
Well, just as you said
Joe
it,
Perry,
David,
22.
he misses a sit-up.
Yeah, it's hard to explain really, because for Joe Perry, for any player really, this is regulation, but for whatever reason he's missed it. Whether his concentration isn't quite right, I don't know, but that was a definite chance to kill it off, and he'll be really annoyed that he hasn't.
Got to be careful of the push here. Is it hard enough? It looked like it just drifted to the right as it was going up the table there. So another chance for Joe Perry, 13 points behind.
One. Six.
Well, Joe Perry has been professional since 1992, so he's been around long enough to know that a win is a win. Like I say, played well against Matt Selt in Manchester and was beaten in the first round.
Well, that black takes him into the lead by 1 point.
Itaro Santos
14.
looked to be in good shape in this frame, but missed a couple to the 2 baulk corners in particular.
15.
I think Perry early on did feel a little bit the burden of expectation. Everyone thought he was a heavy favourite to win. He looked nervy in the first frame. He's not played world-beating stuff, but if he does come through, then he can
21.
settle into the tournament.
22.
Again, he's upset with that type of shot, finishing the wrong side of the blue. Not good at all. Lots of right-hand side on the cue ball to try and swing it round off 2 cushions for the yellow.
27.
He's on it, but still needs the rest. Needs the brown, yellow, green and brown to win.
29. Thank you.
And that should ensure him going into the next round.
$32.
So there you see it, as Joe says, 19 in it, 22 on, so the brown becomes frame and match ball. $36. So in the end, not an upset. A lot of chances on both sides. Perry,
41.
I'm sure, happy enough with the win. He knows, though, the performance will have to improve if he's to challenge for the title this week.
47. $54. Frame of the match.
But he's still here, that's the main thing. And he's gone through with a whitewash win over Brazil's Itaro Santos. A lot of chances on both sides, but in the end, it's Joe Perry going into the second round. A winner here by 4 frames to 0.